Uh, Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from whenever you're calling in from or listening to this recording from. So, we had an eventful week last week, and I do believe that this week is going to be equally eventful. Now, the GBP pairs have just been really radical. Okay, I think someone else is trying to log in. Oluwole, I'm actually using Luwole's platform, so it's probably trying to log in. So I'm gonna log in again. Yeah, so okay. So Luwole, I think you're logged in with your account as well. That's why it's logging me out. Okay, so now we've been having, because of the Brexit saga, GBP pairs have just been very unstable. So for me, I'm not really looking to trade a lot of GBP pairs this week, to be honest, really. So, but if you can see what I'm saying right now, you can see on Monday, Tuesday, we don't really have high impact news on Monday and Tuesday. The first ones we'll start having is from Wednesday. The GBP pairs is FOMC week as well. So we expect some volatility in the market. A number of other ones here that we have to be on the lookout for, most especially CAD, because I'm looking out for CAD as well, for the USD CAD as well, and the yen pairs as well. A number of news releases on yen as well. So just be on the lookout to see, you know, just to be able to make your analysis based on that, these releases. And if you're a news trader, yep, you see you have a number of opportunities here in the market for you to trade CAD, the dollar, the pound, yen, I think the Aussie as well on Thursday, yeah, the employment rate. So just look at that as well. But yep, again, I don't trade news. I just use news as kind of like a guide just to let me know what is happening, where is my liquidity coming from? Am I expecting volatility in the market? Am I not expecting volatility in the market? Should I stay in the market or should I jump out? Just to see, you know, what news releases. Remember, fundamentals and technicals, they work hand in hand. So sometimes you just want to look at the news as well. Want to go to Forex Life as well, or maybe is it what's the name of that station, CSBN or something, just to see what's kind of happening. So just pretty much just help you in your trading. There's no, like they say, information is key, information is powerful. The more information you have, the more powerful you are. That makes sense. Okay, straight up, we're just gonna take you straight to the chart now to see what um we have for the week. I'm gonna attempt to touch as many pairs as possible, but I don't want to make this recording too long, this session too long. Most of the other pairs I'm gonna send them on the platform, but I'm just gonna touch on a few of them, for now, that I'm really looking at for. First of all, USD CAD. We are waiting for that thing to drop because of that double top here that we are looking at. Sorry, I have my wife beside me. She's just trying to sort out audio so she doesn't disturb us. So I'm waiting for that drop all the way from there down there, but it's not happening yet, but it's definitely gonna happen eventually. But as you can see, if you look at this right now, see, this is where price is at. That. So it's going back up now. Two resistances to look out for. This first one at this 1.34380. So meaning that price may just from there come back down to maybe somewhere around here. You know, don't know where it's gonna drop to, but yeah, if it's gonna drop, probably drop back to that trend line that's been bouncing off on for a total of 400 pips. If that happens, that's the first resistance. If it respects this thing is strong enough to hold it, I believe it should be. But if it breaks above that, then I'm of the opinion that it's gonna go as, let me use the alternate, is faster and easier. So I'm of the opinion is gonna go all the way back to this top, because of this levels, this one, these levels that it's been bouncing off on. So it's going to go back to that top, which will be in confluence with this other one, with that resistance. And then from there, it's going to drop back to the bottom right there, for a total of, let me get rid of that. From there, if I can get an entry from here, that's a total of probably 400, almost 450 pips. Yep. So, but that's, oh, okay. Now I should have just gotten rid of that, deleted that. Okay, clear that, clear all drawings. So yep, so if I can get an entry from this point, a drop from this point, then I'm taking it down, but that's on the higher time frame. If you drop down to your smaller time frame, so I hope I didn't, okay, I think I must have deleted something. Okay, yeah. So on this H4 level, you can see price has been bouncing off that. That's like an ascending wedge, like an ascending wedge, meaning that price is going to drop all the way down. We thought that was going to happen here, but sorry, here it dropped and went back upstairs. So what we're really expecting is for it to break all the way down, and then when it breaks that wedge and then starts coming, drop, and then start seeing it all the way back to that level, if that's going to happen. But a smaller time frame, just bringing it back home right now. I don't know why I have this here. This shouldn't be here. Shouldn't I delete? I think there's the one. Okay, so right now I'm looking at this. What's it called now? It's a triangle. It should actually be a rising wedge or a flag or whatever they call it, but it doesn't really matter to me really, because I would only trade it based on confirmation. So whatever the name is, I would only trade it based on confirmation. So I can see that move happening. So if price is to do its thing, if it's going to break to the top side, so guess where it's going to get to? It's going to get to this level, that level we saw on the daily, that one we saw that we expected it to bounce away from. So for a total of 100 plus pips. So that's if I take a trade from here, get an entry from there. Yeah, almost 190, 190 from that level. So what are you waiting for? If you're to take this trade, you're going to wait for price to break out of this level. First entry opportunity, going to wait for price to break out of that, retest that, and then take you to the upside. Now, but if you're a very conservative trader, what you're going to wait for is for price to break out of this level altogether. Where is it now? To break out of this level altogether, retest here, and then for a short win. But on the long term, I'm really waiting for price for USD CAD to bring us down. But if that upside doesn't happen and then price decides to break below, you already guessed it. So we're going to wait for that retest or flag or something. May not necessarily retest. We just do this and then we can look for entry down to that level. You see, it would just be like a measured move. I measured this. So up is like that, down is like that. So what approximately is going to come back to this support at this level. So that will be your move if you can catch that. Again, remember how we roll. We don't trade based on impulse. We don't trade based on feeling. We trade based on confirmations. Price has been bouncing off this level. So what we are waiting for now again is for price to break out of that level, then probably do a flag or a retest, and then we can take it back down. That is how we trade. Yep. So that's for USD CAD. USD CAD. Same thing with that one. So Aussie dollar. Now I don't know why this guy is refusing to jump up. Like we said, remember what I told you guys, that everyone was really waiting for this downside to happen. People were just waiting for this upside because there's a massive pips coming. It's going to take us all the way back here. So it might even break above that, but that's the level that we're in. It's been in this channel for like forever. So if we can catch that move, if we can even catch it all the way from here, that's close to 1,000 pips if it gets to that level. So that's a long way to go. So they are definitely going to make sure that everyone they gather as many stop losses as possible. So that's what you're going to see. So right now, this is what we're seeing. See, reject came back to that level and rejected. Right now, we're expecting that to push off from there. You see, I can see it's a strong indication of the fact that it's maybe coming down, but because of this bullish engulfing, so may just see price come all the way back to this level. So that may be your trade entry based on our trade strategy, bullish engulfing, because it's at the support. So bullish engulfing can do. Trade comes back all the way down here. So what we're waiting for right now is for that trade. Let me see if I've marked it out already. So we're waiting for that trade to this thing to come all the way back down here, and then we would expect price to jump back up. Yep. So that's what we're waiting to happen because of that rejection and because of the fact that it's at a key support level. And then if price refuses and then maybe like they decide to manipulate it, they're probably going to push it back down a bit, probably push it back to this level, before continuing. But again, remember, we would not take it until we see confirmation. So for me, I'm just going to drop down to this level and then probably look for, I could do a bar limit at this level, or possibly wait for price to break. Just all of this, I ignore all of this and wait for price to break above this level, and then I can take my trade at this level. If you can see, it might even seem like a double bottom at this point. So let price, and if that happened, then it means that if this is a double bottom and this is a neckline, then price really needs to come down to that neckline before continuing to the upside. But for me, to be on the conservative side, I may just wait for price to come to the top here, retest that level, and then boom. We still have a long way to go anyway, so there's really no point me guessing. Or remember what I said last week, I was waiting for this to break above that and then come down. So look for price to break above this stop loss below, but that didn't happen. What did you see? A reject, and if it doesn't, down further. So that's exactly what happened, a reject and then down further. So now if I want to even be super conservative, if I'm not like a bit afraid, I'm just going to wait for all of this to happen. Well, it means I'm just really gonna miss a lot of move. So I'm gonna wait for all of that to happen, then put my stop loss somewhere around here, and then take it to the upside. Still a long way to go, but yeah, I would say, yep, it's good. It's good to take some risk, let it go, come back, and then you can begin to. But then don't just let it keep selling. I mean, buying. You could seek to TP at this point, or seek to move your stop loss in and probably look for another opportunity to enter another position when it comes back to test that, and then continue to the upside. So that's your AUD, USD, Aussie dollar. Straight up, NZD, USD, pretty much the same thing. Bullish engulfing candle. Remember what we've been trading, been doing this all this while, and it's been working for us, but it kind of messed us up around here. We got this, we got that, we got all of this move, got all of that move to the upside, but this messed us up because of manipulation. So right now, this has come all the way back to that level. You see that trade? I always like to see this trade again. It was really very beautiful trade. We saw that. So now price has come back to that key support level. So at that support level, through a bullish engulfing candle and give pullback, this would have been our entry. But because I'm too conservative and because I see this thing here, there's some support here, I would not want to take that risk. I'm going to let it go. So I need to see price break above that level, then retest that level. Then I can have peace of mind to take that trade. But at this level, it's too close here for me. It's a good place for price to be, because a bullish engulfing can do a pullback. Beautiful place to take a trade. Look at how sweet it will have been to look at your stop loss, but look at where your TP would be to be here. It's too close, so that's for me. Or for you could just take it if you want to take it. If you drop all the way down to let me see your smaller time frame, let's see what you might be getting out of that. So stop loss somewhere around here, you know, maybe you take a trade, probably wait a little bit for it, or maybe even jump in at this point. Let's just say you jump in at this point, about 20 pips, and your stop loss would be, no, still not give you enter at that point, unless you wait for it to come all the way back to this level, and then you enter, then your stop loss will be here, your TP will be about 30 or 40 pips, which is, not too bad. But for me, I'm just gonna wait, sit that out, and wait for price to break above this level, retest that support level that we created for it from way back. Yep. So if it breaks above that, retest that level, then I can begin to look for my, buys to the upside. But if I don't see buys, I'm not really looking for to sell this trade. To be honest, guys, I'm not really looking to sell this trade right now. You know, I would let me see if I would have a reason to sell it. Okay, if maybe I might be in a good, if I find a good thing, find a good reason to sell it, then this would be what I would do. I'll probably just have to do this to give me a good reason to sell it, just in case, because I really believe that it's going to has strong possibilities to go up. Then this is what I would do. If I'm really looking for opportunity to sell it, then I need to see it come all the way down here, break that, and then I can sell. But my TP would be open because it's not yet, will not be clear, not yet clear. Oops, so no, I don't want to let that happen. I'm gonna delete that again. Again on it, clear all. So my TP would be, who knows, maybe somewhere around here first, or around here, or around here. Difficult to say. Just keep it open anyway. But then it will be risky because, okay, might not be really risky because I probably have my stop loss here anyway. Then if it breaks below that, my stop loss will be here or somewhere around here, and then I'll trade it to the downside. But that's if we don't get this upside and the price breaks below this previous low. So that's what you have to look out for. Now I know the reason why I'm only looking at GU is because I noticed D is trading this one at the moment. So for me, this is not a trade. Most of the GBP pairs, I'm not really gonna put my money on them because of the unstableness instability, whatever the word, the adjective is there, that is that's I'm currently seeing in the market. So, but if this is to work for me, price, because right now, look at what we were looking at. If I give it to you on the higher time frame, see how strong this level was. Yep. So what I was waiting for is for price to break below that, then retest that level and continue to the downside. That was my bias for this particular trade. Look at that. There, drop, there, drop, there, drop, there, drop. Then it broke above it, retested and went to the moon. Came back to it, tested that level, went back, and then came back to it, jumped and came back to it again and broke it. So based on that price action, I would expect price to continue to the downside. And now if you look at what I'm seeing from here on the daily, price broke it, retested it, came down. So for me, generally I'm thinking this is supposed to come down, but I don't like this rejection I'm seeing right now. So on this level right now, I need to see, I think it may just push up a bit, but for me to start buying this market, at least I need to see price come all the way back to this level. But then again, I would be met with this resistance, which means I'm left with no choice than to just abandon it, unless I see price break above this, and then I can begin to say, okay, let me take it back to the top. You see what I mean? See my dilemma? So, but if it doesn't happen, and then the downside based on that price action that we saw on the daily, then I need to see price come back from that level, break below that previous low based on our strategy, how we trade, then retest that level and then continue to the downside. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. So again, looking at it on the daily, this is what we're seeing. break. Remember, I marked this, that that's what I wanted to see. So, well, it pushed down before it did that retest anyway. So price broke, retested that strong support or resistance that we saw earlier, and now it dropped based on our analysis, and it's now pushing back up. So for me to really be able to trade this, I need to confirm that it's a drop, and the drop would be for it to break below this level that it got to before bouncing. So it needs to come down, retest that, and then I can TP somewhere around here and wait for what it's going to do. Maybe it may just push below and continue to the downside. But I think generally, but if that's, sorry, what I meant is if that doesn't happen and it breaks to the upside, then I will just let it go, break out of that this trend line, and then let it go to the upside. Then if it continues, then I'll continue to also keep trading it till it does what it wants to do. Yeah, so that's GU. But to be honest, guys, GBP pairs for me, I'm just on a watch now. I just want to sit down and see what they are going to do. Same thing with this guy. Anything that doesn't give me good outlook, I don't want to take it. I don't want to gamble. Same thing is happening here. For this one as well, I need to see price come back to this level, retest that, then I continue to the downside for this pair. So this is what I'm looking at now. Well, it's already going up again, so could get to that level, retest, and I'll continue to the downside. If not up, retest, and then this should probably be the small TP that I would take, unless price breaks above that, and then. But GJ, GU, I'm not really looking to trade them. But again, I'm going to do this analysis as the market continues, and if whatever happens, I'm just going to keep sending it to the platform. But for now, I'm not convinced I'm supposed to trade this guy. NCAD, is that Kiwi? Yeah, Kiwi card was one trade that we're really looking for because of that pattern. It hasn't told me that it stopped. It's not going to happen, so, but I can just see rejections. Price could just push up again. So, but on the long term, I'm looking for this to go all the way up. Yep, I'm looking for price to go all the way up based on that action price. What's it called? The pattern. Again, pattern doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. It could just be wrong. Pattern could be wrong as well. But since right now, there's no reason for me to believe it's wrong. If it breaks all the way below, because it's on a weekly, so I'm looking at it on the higher time frame. If it breaks all the way below, then I would say it's wrong. But right now, it's still at this level. See that giant impulse that moved to the upside. See that one gave a pullback and then continued, gave a pullback and then continued. So this may just be what it's trying to do, another pullback before continue. But this rejection also gives you a reason to doubt that move, but not a problem. We can still trade the downsides. Now on the daily, what I said, I was going to ignore this level altogether because of the uncertainty I was seeing here. It got there, expecting it to break and drop. It broke, but hasn't fully dropped. What I'm seeing now is like a retest. But if I drop to my week 1 hour time frame, I would look to trade this only if and only if I can see price break below this level where the previous levels got to before, and then I can see a clear retest of that level. I don't want to take I like is that a rejection or that was my own drawing? Okay, that was my drawing. Oops, wasn't a rejection. Okay, so what I need to see now is for price to break below that level, break below that level, retest that level, because that's where it's been to before, and then expect it to continue to the downside. Let me see why I expect that to happen. Yes, it will continue to the downside because of that level, based on this price action that I drew here. So this is what I'm looking for, that, and then to this level, and then possibly bounce from there, but if that doesn't play out, then price is going to go up and then retest that and probably come here. It's still in my ignore level, but because it's here, I may probably look for a trade. So if it breaks above that, retest that level, then I'll probably take it to this level, and then if it breaks above that, I retest that level. Same thing, guys. Same thing. Just look for that break and retest in a key support or resistance level. This is a good place to look for those retests. Your first trade will be this one if it breaks below that. Your other one, if it goes above, would be a break above this level. Yeah, because they are the levels that you've identified on the higher time frame. Yeah, this is the triangle. I mean, the pattern I was looking at. So this is where we are at the moment. Yeah, I forgot about this. So price was in that channel as one drop, drop, this one drop, and then it came close to that level. So I expected it to touch it totally before dropping, but you know how it is. Price will not necessarily touch the trend line you know, completely before dropping. So maybe this is what it's trying to tell us. Probably trying to tell us that yes, I'm ready to drop back to the bottom of that trend line. So that is another analysis to also put into consideration. That would be on a long term. If we don't get this upside, yep, then that would be, although we expected this to get to this upside before that long move, but maybe this may be that move that we're waiting for. But if you're already in this trade, kudos to you. I entered up, took a few wins and a few hits as well, a few losses on this one. So right now I'm not in it, so I'm just going to look for opportunity to take this trade. If this is the long-term move to the downside, then I would look for an opportunity to take it based on these other price actions that are. If I enter at this point, I'll be looking to, you know, to if I can stay that long. Otherwise, I'll get out and look for other opportunities. EJ, beautiful trade. Missed a lot of it. I've been marking this thing for the past how many? I kept missing it. I missed this. I missed that as well. So right now, this is where it's at. It's gone up and it's coming back down. So I expect this thing to happen now. Where is it? Yeah, this is a, remember, descending triangle, descending channel. Is it descending channel? No, descending rectangle, wedge. That's the word. So what we're seeing right now, expect price to kind of push up from where it is, although it hasn't come down. But if you notice what has been happening, price has not been coming down to this level. It's been like it came here, halfway went back up, halfway went back up, okay, this got here, this got here, you know, before the bounce. So maybe this may be the last place it might get to before bouncing back up. It's very uncertain. So if you want to take this, yep, you can just look at what to look for here. Probably a bullish engulfing. This is not a bullish engulfing to me anyway. You know, so descending wedge would always bounce to the upside. That's the rule. So if that bounces to the upside, that's your trade right there. But if they would decide to not follow descending wedge, then this is probably going to come to the downside like this, you know, come back to that level that we expected it to bounce. And then from there, you can see your bounce. This is what I mean. So this is supposed to, yep, just come out like this and then do that and then continue. And then if that doesn't happen, then you can see the break below and then back to that level. But I may not really be looking for this level. The only reason why I'll be looking for this level is so that I can put my buy limit for you to take me back to the upside. That's for EJ. But it's more likely that it's going to follow this descending wedge and then push to the upside. So just be on the lookout for EJs on the 15 minutes chart right now. It's already showing some signs of the upside. Yeah, my something that I was really looking forward to trade was this Chef JPY. Now look at this. Let me see. It's in this part. What's it called now? This channel. See bearish flag. Yep, that move bounce, that move bounce, that move bounce, that move. So right now, I was really waiting for price to complete that move to the downside. Let me push it. So I wanted price to push it back down. You see, dropped all the way back to the 15 minutes chart. So I'm waiting for price to push it down a bit, and then I can take my buy from there. This is one of those trades I will be really looking towards trading today. TP, I mean, stop loss somewhere around here. TP definitely up there. You can see the risk to reward ratio massive. So see what, again, look at what I'm looking at. That move, excuse me. Okay, let me clear this. So that move, see, drop, got in, bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce, drop. So if that rule plays out, then that's our trade to the upside. But if it is time for the chef to drop, then this is your move right here. This is your move right there. First TP, and then the next TP is probably going to be down there. But I strongly doubt this is ready to go that far. But you never know. So just be on the lookout. So again, Chef JPY is my Chef Yen, or what's they call it again? I can't remember the name they call it. So that's my trade right there. That's the one I'm really going to be hunting this week. 2019, guys, is going to be a very amazing week. I mean, a very amazing year, because so many trades are just setting up. They're just really, really setting up for us to kill. So that one again, that's what I'm waiting for. And then I can put my buy limit here, and then no, not yeah, okay, I may keep a buy limit somewhere around here, but there's no line for me to keep a buy limit. So I may just let it come down and then look for some bullish engulfing candle or some other pattern, and then trade it to the upside. But you know how I do. I send the chart analysis as I see them. So, but that may not even happen. You may just decide, okay, I want to start moving. Then what you need to do here is start looking for maybe start looking for some flag or what have you, so that you can take it to the upside. Take it to the upside and look for another flag. Take it to the upside till you get to where you're going to. So that's the Chef Yen. What else? What else? What else? One final one before, because of time. Okay, this one. Now, I expected this to happen. Price to break out of that, retest that, and then continue to the upside. That was my bias. It did break out. It did go up, but it was short-lived. Had to come back down. So right now, what I'm seeing now, I'm seeing a breakout, I'm seeing a retest. So maybe this may actually go back to the upside. Yeah, but let me see what happens if I drop down to my smaller time frame. So on my smaller time, we can clearly see what's happening. Price strongly broke down, then retested. So maybe this might actually be a trip trying to take a trip to the downside based on this analysis that we expected. So maybe this is what is going to happen right now. See, so because of that uncertainty, I'm going to avoid this one. Or if you want to take it still, it's real simple. Just put this there. Look for that. What's it called now? Trend line, and then wait for price to break that. Look for that trend line, then wait for price to break that. Yep, and then that's your move right there. It's even easier. This is really, really straightforward. It's easy for you to take this trade, because even though it goes to the upside, all you need is just a retest of that level, and then your stop loss will be somewhere around here, and then your TP. Okay, your first TP will be around this resistance that you're seeing. The next one will be around this resistance, and then probably another one based on, depending on what you want, what's your goal anyway. So that, even though you take a trade here, this will be your stop loss, and then your TP will be somewhere around here. See, good risk to reward ratio. Okay, guys, I don't want this to be too long. So I'll see you guys on the other side. I'll take any question I have on the platform, and then I'll see you on the other side. Thank you guys for listening. God bless you. Bye bye.